Welcome back to my series, The Bible Doesn't Make Any Sense. Today's episode, Noah's Ark.
Okay, let's see.
Where were the penguins during this? And I stopped and I was like, what? Where were the penguins during this? And that made me think about all of these different animals that have all adapted to different environments. Some are in hot environments, cold environments, wet environments. How did they all survive on that ark? Like that one singular environment? How did they all survive that?
Who said penguins were dead blood? Animals were created after their own kinds, meaning ancestors of animals, not subspecies or species. From there, those kinds crossbreed, having recessive genes, dominant and dominant genes. This then result in subspecies of the original kinds, and you don't even need millions of years, thus a few breeding seasons. We don't know all animals after their kinds before the global flood. Who said there was cold or wet environment before the Great Flood?
To begin with, it says two of every animal came to the ark. How did they know where to go or what to do, or that only two of them could go? How did they choose which two are gonna go? Did they say something to the other animals? Were the animals already dead before this happened? Did God ring a bell or something and tell them where to go?
God commanded and loosed two of all kinds of animals on land and by air to enter the ark. Nothing is too hard for God.
What's with the dinosaurs on this? I've gotten two different answers from the research that I've done. One, Christians just don't believe the dinosaurs existed at all, which, typical to go against literal evidence. But I've also heard that dinosaurs were on the ark.
As for the dinosaurs existed, scientific evidence confirms the dinosaurs existed. The fossil records prove the dinosaurs existed. I believe the young or small dinosaurs entered the ark, not the last one. Science confirms that dinosaurs, animals, and man's footprints have been discovered in bedrock that identifies liquefaction.
People have been trying to figure out what these animals were eating while they were on this ark for 40 days and 40 nights, because they all have different diets, and some of their diets are each other. And how did they not attack any of the people on the ark? Because it wasn't just Noah, it was him and his family, which...
Animals, after their own kinds, were all herbivorous. Check out Genesis chapter 1. The atheist asks this question: how do the carnivores come into existence? Here is my response: adaptation to climate change, atmospheric and environmental, smaller and faster species developed after the Great Flood. The fossil records clearly demonstrates this. She asks, how did the animals not attack the people on the ark? Simple, the animals can be tamed, easily tamed by the man. The animals that were selected by God on the ark will not be able to attack the people, Noah and his family. These animals were put in each and every room.
Anyone else think that it's a little sketch that the only family on earth that God had faith in, there was just one, there was no one else?
God respected Noah's faith in him. Noah found favor in the sight of the Lord. Noah and his family were rich people.
That argue that all of the animals were vegetarian until the flood was over, and then
all animals created after their own kinds were herbivorous. Check out Genesis chapter 1.
The dead carcasses and dead human remains that have been floating in water for 40 days and 40 nights, salt water at that? Or is it then that they started eating each other? And if that's the case, then that means that some of those animals would have went extinct because there was only two of them. I can go on and on and on.
Like I said earlier, adaptation to climate change, atmospheric and environmental, the animals became carnivorous. The smaller and faster species developed after the Great Flood. This resulted to hundreds and thousands of subspecies. Many of these animals became carnivorous. They became predators. They prey on other animals. Salt water. We said there was salt water flood. Can you tell me the observable evidence that salt water, there was salt water flood?